boys and girls of the internet. Today is Sunday, August 5th, 2018. This will be vlog number 216. Word to the wise. When you're leaving work early in the morning, you just want to go home and get to bed, do not stop and say hi to somebody on the way out. I don't know why people just want to continue to talk and talk and talk and talk. And even as I'm saying, all right, have a good day, and my back is turned away from them. Sorry, my back is turned to them, and I'm walking away. They continue to talk. So not to be rude, I have to turn back around and acknowledge them talking. This lady that, apparently she's worked at HP for a while, but this is like the second week I've seen her. I guess she works, different shifts or something. She just wouldn't shut up. I'm trying to leave work. Just kept talking. Oh well. That's why I'm leaving work a little bit later than I wanted to today. I had to get to the store and to pick up a couple of things. But that's neither here nor there. There was a subject I kind of want to talk about today. Now the subject is actually a couple weeks old, but it's still a kind of an ongoing talking point and an ongoing thing. And it's about, I probably mentioned it back when it happened. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But it's about the whole thing about what's going on with James Gunn and Disney firing him. It's a very divisive topic. It's very controversial. It's not one to take lightly. And I don't take it lightly at all. Like I said, it's very controversial. If you don't know what happened, essentially, this is in a nutshell, and then I'm gonna go into a little more detail after I say the nutshell. In a nutshell, James Gunn, many years ago, used to make many extremely poor taste jokes in order to incite controversy and incite, outrage. Because they're really bad jokes, mostly centering around pedophilia. Now, I'm sure he probably made other jokes that were equally as horrible, but about other subjects. But, of course, in this context, the people concentrated their vitriol on the pedophilia jokes. Things about, I'm not even going to mention what the kind of things that he said in those jokes. Now, and here's the thing, those jokes are many years ago, sometimes around 10 years ago, on Twitter, of all places. He didn't really say them out loud, not that I know of. But because James Gunn, who was the director of Guardians of the Galaxy, both 1 and 2, and was starting work on 3, since these came out, the jokes did. It was, many years ago, he already apologized about them many times. And he said, I'm not the same person anymore. And not only that, way back then, when he made these jokes, they were just jokes. There was in no way, shape, or form indicated that he did anything in those jokes in terms of, being a pedophile. He's not a pedophile. At least not that we can tell from anything he's ever said or done. However, because these all came out, Disney, in total understandable reaction, had to fire him. Because Disney is a family-friendly company. They don't want one of their employees, the directors of one of their movies, to be, have that label on them as a pedophile, and that reflects bad on the company. all in all, Disney as a company, they have to make money. That's totally understandable. They have to make a profit. They have to do what's best for the bottom line. And if one of the directors, is engaged in some controversy that is going to possibly take away from sales of their product, well, they better rectify that. So they'll rectify it. They did. They fired him a couple weeks ago. I think it was around the middle of July. Right around Comic-Con time, by the way. Which is really fucked up. I'm sure a lot of people around Comic-Con was talking about that and had, some pretty tough conversations. Now, that was kind of a longer than a nutshell, but here is the rest of what really happened. This all came about, as far as my knowledge goes. There is a subset of the right wing. It's going to get political here. That has found it beneficial for their attack strategy to label people rapists and pedophiles. That's what they found that works, and so they're sticking to that, and they're doing that a lot. Apparently, like, Tom Hanks is a pedophile according to these fuckers. One of them, I don't want to say very, but a rather outspoken and known name in the far right wing circles. His name is Mike Cernovich. And this asshole, that's what he does. That's his whole. I don't know what he does like professionally. I really don't know what his job is. All I know is he's a hitman. He's a social hitman who he's done this to many other people on the opposite spectrum from him. Or at least he tried to for some people and successfully done it for others, where he will dig out whatever dirt he can, any dirt he could possibly find, even if it's like 10, 20 years old. And if there's no dirt in there, he'll make up the dirt. He'll point to something and he'll fabricate a narrative, go, hey, look, this is what he said here, and this is what it actually means. And people will actually believe him, and his MO, his go-to strategy is to call people pedophiles. And also he sometimes labels them a rapist, and probably more than that. I think there's like another one that he goes to as well, but pedophile and rapist are his two big ones. Now, this is a funny thing for one thing, because this guy, Mike Cernovich, he's a convicted rapist. He was found to be a rapist. So he has no right calling other people rapists and denigrating them. So this is what he did. He went and he's the main one who dug up through all of James Gunn history of tweets, compiled them all. I'm sure he spent a great deal of time doing it. What a fucking lowlife. Only because James Gunn is on the left, and he criticized Trump and the current Republican Party. And so Mike Cernovich got up his ass and did this homework to dig up this information. Now, unfortunately, whenever you talk to comic book people, comic book nerds, fans of Guardians of the Galaxy, they're divided now. Fucking Mike Cernovich divided people against each other. People who would agree on everything. Now, I think everybody would agree. I'm saying like 99.999% of people would agree that pedophilia is bad. You don't want to be a pedophile. Fuck pedophiles. Pedo jokes, yeah, bad taste. Don't do them. But if you do them, my opinion, if you do them, okay, you did them. Move on. You know, is he an actual pedophile? That's what I care about. Is he an actual pedophile? If he is, yeah, do something about it. If he's not, how long should this guy be punished for it? And I brought this up on Twitter the other day because all of the cast from Guardians of the Galaxy wrote an open letter to Disney, and they signed it on the bottom saying, "We, the cast of Guardians of the Galaxy, support James Gunn, and we want you to reinstate him as a director for Volume 3. We don't know where that letter has gone so far, if it's done anything. There's also been a petition to try to get him rehired by Disney. We don't know if that worked. I doubt it will. However, this was tweeted out by Zoe. Wow, her name totally escapes me. Zoe Saldana? Yes. Zoe Saldana. Sorry, I butchered your name. You're a great actress. I love you in Guardians of the Galaxy and in Avatar. Beside that point, she tweeted it out, and of course there was a big string of people either retweeting, replying, whatever. There's a lot of people that supported that, but there's also a lot of people who are saying like, I really love Guardians of the Galaxy, but I'm really hating that all the cast is supporting this pedophile, and they totally ate up. There's a large section that ate up this narrative about James Gunn, that they think he's a pedophile, and even the ones that are like, they're not saying he's a pedophile directly. They're saying that no, he said that these jokes, and it wasn't just like one or two jokes. There was thousands of them. Okay, well, 1, 2, 10,000 jokes. Where's the line of? And I kept replying back. Where's the line of like where the punishment should end for him? Because this isn't the first time it was brought up for him. It was brought up many, many years ago, because he's been in Hollywood for a long time. And he apologized for him. He doesn't do them anymore. He made his apologies multiple times. How long should somebody be punished for their speech, for their bad speech? What's the stay of execution? What's the statute of limitations, should I say? Is it 10 years, 20 years? If I've written something, and I have, trust me, in my conversations with some of my friends, granted, these weren't public, most of them were private conversations, like text or instant messaging. I said, and they said, some very, very bad things that if someone would look at that content and take it out of context, they'd say I was a monster. But for us, we were joking. That's what we do. We joke constantly about really horrible things, and we kind of like try to one up each other in that regard. Now, if I tried to get into any prominent position in the future, are those conversations ever going to be like looked back upon and come up and bite me? Is that something we have to be scared about now? Is that, no matter how much time passes, if it's in record of internet history at any point in time, if you said it, you're liable and responsible for it, and you must pay a penalty for it? I don't know. I really don't think you should be, because, again, you have to take everything in context. You have to look at the context and where things were said, were they said in a context of in a joking manner. Is there any indication that the person that's saying these things actually believes these things? Was anybody actually harmed by any of this? those are the things you have to look at. Like I said, some of the things me and my friends say, they're downright despicable. I don't condone saying that to anybody else but my friends, because that's the level of humor that me and my friends have. And again, a lot of times even I get offended. It's like, whoa, everybody says it'll be really bad there. I'm going to hell. I don't believe in hell, but I say that. I say like, shit, that's something really bad. I shouldn't have said that. But I keep doing it because it's jokes. It's funny, and we don't take it seriously. And it's private. That's kind of the bad thing, and a little bit something that differentiates me and James Gunn is that he put it on Twitter publicly. So is that the also difference? If it's said in private, are you safer than if you say things in public? But again, that's not always the case, because people have got in trouble with things that they thought they said in private, but in fact were recorded or logged in some way, and they get in trouble for that. But that's a different subject for a different time. Overall, though, again, what's the state of execution? Should James Gunn be punished for life for something that he just said in a few 100,000 tweets, whatever many there were? But even if he said 1 million tweets, what's the number and what's the duration of his punishment? Can he never work in Hollywood again? Is his punishment a life sentence? He didn't do a crime. There was no crime. It's character assassination. That's what this fucking Mike Cernovich does. He character assassinates people that he disagrees with. And people need to understand that. So when people get mad and frustrated that James Gunn did a shitload of tweets that had pedophile subjects, there's a bird that just landed on the roof of my car. Can't see him. What was I saying? If you now just say like, well, I don't like James Gunn anymore because he's a pedophile because of these jokes. He's not a pedophile. He made bad jokes, yes, but he's not a pedophile. And if you believe that he is, you've fallen for Mike Cernovich's trap. You've fallen for his bullshit. And what can I say? You're gullible. That's my opinion on that. Again, very harsh, very divisive. I suggest you look into, if you don't know who Mike Cernovich is, look into the bullshit he's done. I will leave a link to a video down below kind of describing the shit that this guy does. At any rate, that's all for today. I'll talk to y'all later. Tell me what you think. Have a good day. Love you.